Have you ever wished that you could go back in time and give your younger self just one piece of advice? I know I sure have. And in today's video, I'm going to share with you what that piece of advice is. And it took me over 20 years of working to realize this. And it goes against what all of the conventional wisdom says, especially those commencement address speeches. And that is, it is okay to not follow your passion. Yep, I said it. It's okay to not follow your passion. And just for clarification, I'm going to use the word passion, but you can insert purpose or your thing that lights you up. Whatever it is, it's the same concept. It's that thing that really makes you come alive. Now, I'm not saying that you should never follow your passion, but I'm saying that it is okay if right now you aren't. I put so much pressure on myself, especially early in my career and in college, to live my purpose because I only had one life, and that if I did what I loved, I'd never work a day in my life. But in reality, life isn't always that simple. There are choices that you have to make, and there are sometimes decisions that have to be made that unfortunately don't allow you to just follow your passion. Now, I believe that there are three camps that most people fall into. One is you know your passion from a young age and you pursue it full force. And good for you. If this is you, I am so excited for you. But research shows that only about 20% of people innately know their purpose or passion from the get-go. That means 80% don't. Yet for some reason, we put that 20% up on a pedestal and that we're supposed to emulate them. But life is just not that cut and dry. One, you have to know what that is, and you might not. And two, if you do know what it is, you have to have the opportunity to pursue it. And we all know that a lot of times the opportunity might not be there. So if you, like I said, if you are one of these people, then awesome. But if you're not, then you are in the majority. The 20%, they're an anomaly. And those are the people that we see on TV, maybe in the Olympics, or we celebrate the young rising stars. But if you are feeling behind, you're not. You probably fall into one of the two other camps is you know your passion, but you're just unable to pursue it fully at the current time. And that is completely normal. For me, I grew up poor. I'm talking saltine cracker sandwiches, and my piggy bank was ransacked to pay bills type of poor. And when I was growing up, I loved reading and writing. It was the only time in my life that time stood still. And if I had every opportunity in the world, I would have pursued an English degree in college. But I didn't, because above my passion, I placed financial security. I knew what it was like to grow up wondering if you could afford groceries. And so for me, I made the conscious decision to put my passion on the back burner. And you know what? That is a decision that you might have had to make, whether or not it's because of a financial responsibility or family obligations or a whole host of other reasons. It's okay to not prioritize your passion at this time in your life. But I say prioritize, and I say it's okay to not fully go after your passion. That doesn't mean you should completely not even touch it, because that is where we lose our sense of fulfillment and self. So wherever you are, whatever season that you're in right now, figure out where you can pursue your passion. If it's an hour a day of writing, do that. If it's an hour a week of doing art, then do that. If it's an hour a month of teaching, do that. Figure out where you can pull in your passion into your everyday life, but don't put the pressure on yourself that it has to be a certain amount per day or week. Just do it where you're able to. And when you're able to keep that spark of your purpose or passion or flame or whatever you want to call it alive, that keeps you going. It keeps you fulfilled, and it gives you something to look forward to. And also when you do that, you're keeping that door open because you do not know what possibilities may lie ahead. So you might not be able to go full force, but at least keep that little flame alive, because one day you might be able to finally give your full attention to it. And that's where all of your lived experience, as well as your passion, may align into something absolutely beautiful. And the third camp is, I don't even know what in the heck I am passionate about. And that is okay as well. In fact, I find it's somewhat exciting because there are tons of opportunities for you to figure that out. Now, let's say you're like, look, I don't know. So where do I even start? Well, you just start. Whether that is volunteering or taking a class or reading or working out or joining clubs, do something. Just do something. And when you are in that space of doing, if something ignites in you and you feel a spark or time just flies, you don't know where it went, that means you're onto something. And when you have those moments, really reflect on them. Ask yourself questions. Ask yourself, what is it specifically about this activity that I enjoyed? Are there aspects of the activity that you enjoyed more than others? Is it something that you see yourself doing even if you didn't have to? Reflect and then adjust. If there are certain aspects you liked, definitely go further and explore those. And the beauty of discovering this when you're adult is there's no outside forces telling you what you should or shouldn't like, as sometimes happens in childhood. But also, you pretty much already know your baseline of what you don't like. So you can just disregard all of that and focus on what you do like. But the thing is you have to do. You can't just sit. You have to be out there. And for me, I thought that my passion was reading and writing. And I did. I went back to graduate school. I told myself when I was able to afford grad school, I was going to go back. And I kept that promise to myself. It was 10 years later, but I did it. And while I was there, I really enjoyed it. But it wasn't until I graduated and I became a professor that I actually all clicked for me. It wasn't so much the reading and writing as it was the connecting. When you are able to write, you're able to connect with others. And when you're reading, you're able to connect with situations and emotions and people that you might not have even thought people felt or thought the way that you did. And when I was able to teach, I was able to bring all of this connection to humans, to like real live people. And I loved it. And that is where I realized that connection was really where my passion lies, and helping others. And I took that along with my 20 years, nearly 20 years of HR experience, and I melded them. But I would have never have had that HR experience if I had pursued my passion right out of the gate. And who knows, I might not have even enjoyed it because I thought I was pursuing something when I fully didn't understand what it was. So there is no timeline for you. If you are still alive, that means there is still time. And for you, it might be a completely different path than for me or for your friend or your neighbor. And that is okay. The one thing I don't want you to do is ever to just give up, to just throw in the towel and say, I have no purpose, I have no passion, because there is something that you have to offer that is completely unique, a perspective that you have, experiences that meld with your skills and talents that are going to make you somebody that is going to bring something to life for other people. And it is okay if it doesn't follow a traditional path. So if right now you're stuck in a job, you're just like, I don't like this, then focus on what you can do to figure out what it is that you truly want to be doing. Just do not give up on yourself and finding that thing that you were meant to do. All right. Well, that's my my wisdom all wrapped up in less than 10 minutes. And if you are interested in learning more about the HR world, you're going to want to be sure to check out my video here about how you can take control of your job search. All right.